Dallas Cowboys for being good to us and giving us news on August 4th. Welcome to NFL Live. I'm here with my boy Dano. We got Mina Kimes and Adam Schefter too. Hey man, y'all hear what Jerry Jones said, but just hours ago, Brian Schottenheimer, he was asked, are they adjusting the defense without Micah Parsons? And here is what he said about Micah requesting that trade.
No, we're still planning on moving Mike around and putting him in all the spots that we see him and using our fronts the way we want to see it. And no, we just, we go about our business every day. We live in the moment. We focus in the moment. And again, like I said, I talked to you guys the other day. I'm not going to get a lot into it, but, I expect Micah to be here.
Shefty, you heard what Shotty said. He expects Micah to be there. So tell us where things stand with the contract negotiations.
Well, see, being there and actually going through practice are two different things. And right now, the Dallas Cowboys and Micah Parsons are not close on a deal. But we heard Jerry Jones over the weekend come out and say that the team is not going to be trading Micah Parsons. And he told Cowboy fans to relax. Don't lose any sleep over it. He may not be losing sleep over it, but I can tell you there are Cowboys fans who are.
You're damn right.
This is an issue right now that is real. Micah Parsons no longer is wearing the number 11 Cowboy jersey.
He was today, Adam.
Weekend. We'll see
he
how
was
that
today.
manifests itself going forward. But there's a lot of work to be done if they can repair that relationship. And if they can't, that's where Micah Parsons is going to have more decisions to make, with the regular season opener now being just over 1 month away from
31 days.
Whether or not he wants to play, whether or not he wants to withhold services. There's a lot to work through here, from Micah Parsons saying he wants out and Jerry Jones saying they're not trading him, and don't lose sleep over it.
Dano, Micah with the old silent protest, right? Taking off the jersey, putting on the hoodie.
Just the hoodie.
Hey, he talked about that game, the season opener. Listen, they got the Eagles on Thursday night in prime time. What do you think about the way Jerry's handled this situation?
Another blunder. And when it comes to a star player, it seems that this relationship is broken. Shefty just said
Is
they
it
have
really?
to repair the relationship. He also said it's a real issue. So when Shefty says that, I'm going to take that for what it is. That's real information. And as I sit here, and we've talked about this a lot today, the two things that come to my mind, RC, MK, and Schefter, is this. Number one, how real is the trade request? Like, how real is it? Is it?
It doesn't matter how real that is. It doesn't matter how real the request is.
Thing. So how real is it? And then two, what amount of money is it going to take for that trade request to get rescinded? Even if it's somewhat real, what is going to
trade
now have to be
request
the
means
number
nothing.
for Micah to walk back his public words?
Shefty, what you got?
Well, let me answer both those questions for Dan. Number
This
one,
is fake
how
drama
real is
for
the
your
trade
mama.
request? Micah Parsons thought about it all week long last week. It wasn't like
Were you in his head,
woke up
Adam?
and said, I'm going to request a trade today from the Dallas Cowboys. It was something that he was thinking about doing and was told to take time, to think about what he wants to do, to process it, not to get emotional. And ultimately, in the end, he still felt like he had to announce that he wanted to be traded. We can get insider RC's thoughts on this as well before I go on to Dan's second question about the money involved. Look, we heard Myles Garrett come out and say
is the
he would
key
never
to
play for the
end
Cleveland
of
Browns
your
ever again.
woes, your
He'd rather
ups,
walk to
your
Canton,
downs,
Ohio,
your
whatever
highs
it was.
and your
in the end,
lows.
money solved the issue. He became, albeit briefly, the highest paid non-quarterback in the game. So let's be frank. As much as Micah Parsons is saying today, I'm ready to be traded from Dallas, I don't want to be in Dallas, I think Deebo Samuel once said the same thing about the 49ers. Brandon Ayuk once said the same thing about the 49ers. T. Higgins once said the same thing about the Bengals. And now we got Micah Parsons doing what Myles Garrett had done before Myles Garrett resigned. Look, there's always money involved. And if and when the two sides can repair that relationship and keep Micah in Dallas and work out a deal, let's be honest, it's going to make him the highest paid non-quarterback in football, and he then can say, I thought about things, we worked through them, and here I'm happy to be in Dallas. But right now, there's an issue. Right now, there's a problem. And RC can attest to that, I think. Right, RC?
I know a little bit about what's going on, Dan.
It's just a broken relationship. That, yes, money will solve, but I don't know if it's just going to completely erase
you know what?
him publicly coming out and notifying the fans, I don't want to be here anymore.
Well, listen, we're talking about Jerry Jones and Micah Parson, sort of this back and forth, Mina, but this doesn't just affect that relationship. It affects this defense.
You know what?
Does this defense look like without Micah Parsons?
The fuck up. Shut all the way the fuck up until you reach the top of Shut Fuck Mountain, where there are no more fuck ups to shut.
Well, hello, good people, and all the Eagle fans that are here. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Mia Coombs is sexy. Okay. Oh, man. Cole's Cowboys in the house. What's up? We got Logan Motorsport, and, of course, the great Holly Pierce. What's up, Holly? There's Lady Libra in the house. Lady, we got your shirt together. We're gonna get it in the mail tomorrow. Logan Motorsport, we're gonna get yours in the mail tomorrow for who? I forgot who's going to. I forgot who you. Oh, you're sending it to Drew. Oh, I might have to wipe my butt with it first and then send it to Drew. But how about that? Let's see. James Snyder, Jeff Lee. My name is Jeff. Is in the house. Adrian's in the house. What's going on? So today seemed like we stepped back from the abyss. Am I crazy on that? Lovely Linda. What's up, Linda? How are you doing? Dustin Bosley says he's going over to the other side. Appreciate you being over there. Joe DeMasi on the other channel. Ward family, what's going on? Chris Lurie, Chris Lacero? Okay, I can't pronounce it, but Chris. My name is Chris over on the other channel. No, Mark, Drew's a nice guy, but thank you. Yes, Mike is back. We're going to the Super Bowl. He is back at least at practice. Okay, here's where it was kind of like, if you ever had a boil, I sometimes get boil. James Snyder, Mark, read my comment. I just did there. You ever get a boil? I've got big thighs that rub, and when it gets hot, they sweat. And sometimes I'll get a boil between my thighs, and those things hurt like crazy, okay? Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't know if you've ever had a boil or not, but they do. They'll swell up and get real big, right? And they will hurt. You touch, it hurts, okay? And they get to a head, they tell you, go ahead, to get some warm salt water, cloths and stuff, or put heat on them. If you go to the doctor, they're going to give you antibiotics, but don't take too many antibiotics. And if you do take antibiotics, take them all. Because if you don't, then the infection can live on and come back and start getting resistant to the point where you have an infection that they don't have a cure for, okay? But what happens with that boil is eventually that sucker comes to a head and it pops. Pow! Or if you squeeze it, it'll pop. And it was like, sometimes you squeeze it, that sucker, it'll shoot across the room. And it will hurt like hell when it comes out. But then it's like, oh, the relief from it, okay? Chris, you're right. It's one of the worst pains in the world. And sometimes you'll have it there for days, and it just kind of keeps rubbing and rubbing and rubbing until finally that sucker's got to come to the head and blow. And the Cowboys with Jerry Jones and, Stephen Jones, a.k.a. Catboy, we're sitting here just kind of squeezing a little bit of that boil, okay? But not squeezing enough to pop that sucker, but squeezing and irritating. It's just getting, and see, when it gets irritated, that sucker will spread. It'll get red and it'll hurt even more, okay? I mean, seriously. And it's like, don't touch it. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. But the Joneses, they just kept, and they just kept doing that to Micah. Till finally, Micah, he exploded. He exploded like a boil. And once that was done, it was a little bit better. And so we had, Son of John, see, you know what my next video was going to be. My next video was great news for Dak Prescott. And it was going to be, nobody's talking about Dak Prescott. Okay? And there's another piece to this, too, because the Ravens are planning on having a new contract for Lamar Jackson that will make him the highest paid player in the NFL. So it'll be great that Dak Prescott will no longer have the highest paid moniker. And now you got Micah Parsons taking the bullets. He can relax. But you're right. You were 100% right. Son of John, great minds think alike. But you notice that with no practice yesterday, that today you didn't hear Jerry Jones, all in his feelings about, we negotiate. Listen, we negotiated a deal. We started negotiation. Biggs, listen, buddy, it may be disgusting, but I'm telling you, you just learned something. Warm, moist compress with some salt will help bring it to a head. Don't sit here and keep squeezing it, okay? Right? Go to the doctor, get some antibiotics. I know somebody out here right now has got a boil on their ass or on their inner thigh or something. It's summertime. That's when you get a lot of them from the heat, the sweat, and everything else. It's just like a little infection with your hair follicles. How is it disgusting? It's a fact of life, buddy. You got to deal with it. It's not like I was talking about like gonorrhea or something like that. It's a freaking boil. It's just basically like a pimple on steroids, okay? Come on, man. If you played football and having your shoulder pads and stuff, we had a guy, Joey DeChristopher, who got like a whole mess of them on the back of his neck and stuff. And it was, that was nasty. Because they were just like pop, pop, pop. I mean, that was, ooh. And, Linda never sent me her address, and she never told me what she wanted. I can get Miss Tracy to make the mad one for her if she likes, but she never sent me her address. I didn't ask it, but I gave up. So it seems like calmer heads prevailed. We do know Shotty Shots did talk to Micah, and say, hey man, I need you to wear your jersey and stuff, man. We're all still a team, and everything's going to be good. This thing's going to work out. And I'm curious. I'm almost wondering, because it was almost too quiet today after the boil that broke on Saturday. Did some talking actually start happening? Did some talking start happening? Mark, don't speak it up. You might wake up with one. You speak those into existence. Well, if I do, I mean, it won't be the first time. Trust me. I mean, listen, at 59 years of age, when I go to sleep, man, I worry about getting cramps in the middle of the night, because that's where it really gets bad. And I'm going to tell you, one night, this was a bad night, because I got a cramp on my groin muscle, on my left leg, right? And stretching out your groin is one of the hardest things to do, especially when you can't move like me, right? And I'm sitting there stretching my leg out. I'm like, it's like the boil pain, right? And then all of a sudden, as I'm stretching, I got this leg out and I got the other one bent, I got hit in the other groin. So I got a cramp in both groins and I can't stretch. I'm just like, I'm literally crying. My wife was like, what can I do? I was like, I don't know. Literally, she went downstairs. She got pickle juice for me. She got a banana for me to eat. She had some different cramp pills I was supposed to we were just like doing everything. And I'm telling you, it is hell. Jimbo says, breaking trade. Raiders are sending quarterback Javarius Bennett to the Eagles in exchange for D-tackle Thomas Booker IV, per sources. Okay, well, that would be big. Sounds like something I'd tell my wife. But anyway, I'm beginning to think that something happened between Saturday and Monday to kind of calm the waters, or they both step back a little bit. I say trade him. Show me the last time top played outside linebacker took the team to a Super Bowl. Save money and get 2 D tackles on how many they were Super Bowl last year. Okay, well, that's one opinion. That's one opinion. But I can say we've seen what the defense is last year without Micah Parsons, and since he gets like 25% of their pressures, I think you kind of need him. He's in his prime, but that's my opinion. And who's to say who's right or wrong? Time will tell more than anything else. But be that as it may, yesterday, and shout out to Holly Pierce, because I tell you, Holly will go toe for toe. She will, listen, Holly has no fear. I would like to have Holly Pierce in a room with Jerry Jones, and I guarantee you that within an hour, Jerry Jones will be working on Micah Parsons' contract. I'm serious. Holly Pierce is that persuasive, okay? And she will take no shit from nobody. She sent me an email last night and said, I'm sorry for bitch slapping Leo last night. Seriously. It's like, you know what, Holly? Anytime you want to bitch slap Leo, we're okay. So we ended up having kind of a crazy night. Leo and Game Time Brian kind of got into it, and I'm just like, whoa, because I try and let, people, we got a lot of frustration as Cowboy fans. We got Jerry Jones that's literally, Leo made a video, he apologized because of yesterday. That's what I said. I know he sent me a message yesterday and said, I went on Game Times and we made good and everything else. I don't know what that guy has to be upset about. I mean, his team won the Super Bowl and he smokes a lot of weed. How do you get upset when you do that? I don't understand that. How the hell, Leo, do you own a dispensary? Okay, you grow the shit, okay? You sample the product, okay? Regardless of what Neil Brown said, you don't get high in your own supply. Or was that Scarface? I can't remember who it was. But anyway, Holly, and Holly don't need to. Holly don't mess with Holly. Don't mess with Miss Holly. You better not say nothing bad about Miss Holly. Okay? Lady Libra is just cracking up. Okay, so he sent me a message, and I was like, and I talked to Brian, and I was like, what the hell was all that? And he talked to Leo, what the hell was all that? Y'all taking this stuff personally. It's just YouTube. Some people get all bent out of shape and want to fight people over freaking YouTube. It's YouTube. You guys are keyboard warriors. You are trolls. I don't have to take it seriously. Okay? Just be cool. Have some fun. It's Eagle fans. They have anger in their genetics. That may be true. So then, and Leo's, he's working on his channel, the bird section. I think it should be called the bird stain, personally. Okay? Because it's more like a bird stain. Okay? But he said Eugene was on. Eugene had a few things he wanted to say to me and stuff on there. So I went on with them for a little bit last night because Eugene Monroe, what I found out is Eugene knows where the bodies are buried and keeps a foot in Leo's ass, okay? So he is the kryptonite for Leo. But here's the thing. He gave us some real insight to the Joneses and the perception that players have about playing for the Cowboys because Darryl Green's son, Jared, actually played for the Cowboys. So I want to actually play a little bit of that clip last night from it. And also how I changed their perspective of playing for the Dallas Cowboys as well. Let's go to the tape.
Oh, I went through the stream a little bit.
He
was mostly quiet.
He went off, man.
And you muted him. You muted him too.
I kept and he would unmute it too. It was kind of crazy, but when he went after Holly, you can't mess with Holly now. I can't mess with Holly. You can't mess with
just like that, Eugene. That's how he was doing.
No. See, you have to understand.
Just like that.
Let me explain something though. No.
See what happens when you step into my world?
Y'all funny, man.
Oh, okay. All right.
Go ahead, Mark. I'm sorry. I just had to get you, man.
No, here's the thing. There's one thing I do.
Muted. You go ahead and unmute yourself.
Nobody's ever muted me before. Okay, here's the thing. Let me explain one thing. When it comes to the ladies, I go into.
I'm telling you, better not mess with my ladies.
Okay, And so that because it actually started out where I had somebody came in and told a woman, said, look, shut the F up. You don't know what you're talking about. Go make me a sandwich. And I was like, you can't disrespect these ladies, because most of them know actually more than most of the fans that are actually, the guys that are up in there and stuff. So it's always been, now she thought that you said, get the dick out of your mouth. And she's like, well, I ain't got a dick, so I didn't put it in my mouth. But I think you were talking about Jerry having his dick in his mouth. Lola, Miss Hot Sauce. Cowboy fans having it in there. But anyway.
Now, you know what, Mark, the night that Eugene and I are talking about, he also didn't know about what Jerry had said either. I had to send him a link to see that video of what Jerry said.
Okay, let's get back in. I'm sorry.
Spin around, bend over, touch your toes, all this stuff, claiming they're checking your flexibility. But, I mean, they seen you on film. What's that all about?
That sounds like slave market stuff.
Exactly. And I mean, that's what we're dealing with here. I mean, players are tired to be treated like they don't have any value. It's an ugly situation, man. And I searched because I wanted to see what my peers and other players thought about this. And the first thing I saw was a tweet from J.J. Watt. And he said, take care of your best players early. Saves money, saves headaches. The longer you wait, the higher the price. Simple.
And Jerry's consistently done that.
But here, let me ask you, Eugene. Yeah, being a player in the NFL and stuff, what is the perspective of being a Dallas Cowboy and Jerry Jones?
I spent a good bit of the last week with Jared Leo, who played for the Cowboys, for a little while. And
shout out to Jared.
Loved his experience down there. He talks high about how the Cowboys run their organization. But I think what we're dealing with here, and Leo, when we talk about, let's flip it. You mentioned in New Jersey politics, for example, there's something that you say that we have to wait to happen for things to actually move. And I think we're watching that here with the Cowboys. And if you would go ahead and say it, because you say it best.
Yeah, I always, when I'm dealing with, assembly folks and stuff like that, and people get angry, I say, well, we have to wait for a lot of old people to die.
And we're not wishing that, there's death, but the truth is, we know what generation he's from, and that man's been beyond wealthy for how long? Forever. And whoever has told him no, when you're in that position, unless you got a firecracker of a wife who'll put her foot down, you just do what you want. And it looks like Jerry's done what he's wanted,
He's
forever.
Got some very, very valid points.
Which is why the team has been in the situations it has been, and it's been a few decades now since, and look, I'm not trying to fire shots, Mark, but I mean, it's been a long time since y'all been in the dance. And it's crazy that, you're still respected as America's team.
Shots fired. This is what I've kind of pointed out to people is, New England won 6 Super Bowls. The Eagles have been to 3, winning 2 in recent history. Kansas City, you've got, Pat Mahomes. Yet tomorrow, every single show will be about the Dallas Cowboys. So, and you've got the most valuable franchise. Everybody's always on the tongue. So with Jerry already having 3 Super Bowl rings, is actually winning a Super Bowl really his thing, or is it about making more money? Because when I sit here and look at some of the things that they do to the players and things that really aren't necessary, the fact that they charge a monthly fee to the players for eating at the facilities, whether they eat there or not. When you think about the $10 million they make from the tours in the locker room and the weight room and stuff, and it's kind of like, is that stuff more important than actually getting a good culture and winning a Super Bowl?
Jerry's a businessman first and foremost.
Without a doubt.
What that means is he doesn't want to lose, right? So I don't think that these plays are solely for money, but someone in your stream, mentioned the fact that they're controlling the media right now.
What do you mean me?
You know, so they're making the team more valuable even during this period of drama. I will say I don't think that it's nefarious in the sense that he's in some way colluding with Micah and the deal's actually worked out and they're doing this to control the media. Because again, even though Micah is the player he is, the owner's still the owner. And he's the one cutting the checks, and they're big ones. So you got to understand the position he's sitting into.
So Eugene, then can you expand on your text to me about when Micah's brother is on a live stream talking? You know, like, what's your take? Tell Mark about your take on that.
You know, even as far as Micah himself making commentary about this, the truth is this all needs to happen behind closed doors.
That is the truth. Not the Cowboys
even
way.
Though you create heat with these arguments and it's taking over the media cycle, you don't win your negotiation in the media. And so I just thought it was a little off-putting that, like, his family member would come out, and no disrespect to him, but like everybody needs to be quiet.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one 100%. Yeah. You know, he's trying to win in the court of public opinion. Well, that's great that everybody's on his side. Okay, that his teammates are on his side. There you go. But that was a little bit of the conversation last night, and this is getting it from a player's or former player's perspective on what it's like. Now, the thing that I pointed out to him, and he was kind of agreed as well. Like I said, I don't want to play the whole thing. If you want to actually go to Leo's channel, you can watch the whole thing. But here's the thing. Like Micah Parsons pointed out 6 months ago, come to Dallas because you can fix your brand. And when you think about this right here. A lot of people don't understand this, but when you play a game in New York or New Jersey for the Giants, for that game, your game check is taxed at New Jersey taxes. Same thing when you go to play a game, play the Rams or the 49ers, you're taxed at California taxes. When you play in Dallas, they don't have state income taxes. So you actually make more money on each one of your game checks than you do a lot of other places. Okay, that's the first part. The second part is you will get more visibility. Yes, you got to put up with Jerry Jones and everything else. But when you think about somebody like Jesse Holley, who literally has a job, and Jesse Holley, I'm sorry, is not a big name. Not a big name. Didn't do a whole lot on the field, but because he was a Dallas Cowboy, he got a job. You think about Moose Johnson. You think about Troy Aikman. You think about Tony Romo. Jason Witten had an opportunity. He couldn't speak worth shit, but he had a chance. And so you look at this, and if you're Micah Parsons, the thing you don't realize is this. Micah Parsons needs the Cowboys for his brand after football. If Micah Parsons were to go to Denver, do you really think people are going to pay attention to his podcast in the same way? Seriously. Do you really think if he goes to the Miami Dolphins, his podcast is still going to be as popular? Had he started his career anywhere else, do you think he would have been president of Bleacher Report? The Jones boys' pride is destroying the franchise. Chris, you are not lying on that one. It is Jerry Jones. See, what you have to understand is Jerry Jones' ego, the reason that guy let go a two-time back-to-back Super Bowl champion was because he felt like he didn't get enough credit. If you will destroy your franchise for your ego with Jimmy Johnson, why is it a big stretch that he would, do the same thing here? Evidently, winning more Super Bowls isn't more important than his ego. Mark, do you think his happiness is important in Dallas? What if he's not happy there? Well, you know what? Run DMC said, money is the key to end of my woes, my ups, my downs, my highs, and my lows. Didn't you tell me that money bought your clothes? It's like that. And that's the way it is. We've heard everybody in negotiations say, trade me, trade me, trade me. First of all, if the Cowboys were to trade him, do you think they would trade him where he wants to go? If just hypothetically, if they were to entertain it, why would you trade him? You don't have to. You don't even have to get him a new contract. He's got a contract for another year. Would it be advantageous? Yes, it would. To get him happy, get him back on the practice field. Because what I worry about more than him getting his contract, he's going to get paid. Well, let's be clear here. Micah Parsons is going to get paid, but what you're missing is the real point. How much has Jerry Jones hurt the team by playing this game? Seriously. Training camp's half over. We have, starting tomorrow, practice with the Rams. He going to miss that. Then you got to start worrying about soft tissue injuries. So you have to slowly ramp him up to get him up to speed. What's up, Thomas Garrett? How you doing? Jeff Lee's in first place, back where he belongs. My name is Jeff. Just make him play, then tag him and let him walk. Well, we've done that before. We've done that before. We did that with Dalton Schultz. We did that with Tony Pollard. We've done that. Yeah. Okay. But here's the problem with Jimbo. You can't let somebody that good just walk without getting something for him. That would be just stupid. Josh Herman. Shout out to Josh. Mark, I think he'd be big anywhere off the field. He just has that personality to him, but you're right. Him being in Dallas has helped him with that. Yeah, he does have a big personality. And there's a lot of players out there that have big personalities that nobody ever sees. Dirty Sanchez. Jerry can keep him for the next 3 years, use his skills, and trade him after he's used him up with 2 franchise tags, and maybe get a couple number one. Maybe get a couple number ones afterwards. Well, I don't know after 3 years if you'll still get a couple number ones, but I mean, it's possible. Mark, you're amazing. Dante, daggone, you're amazing. Keep on what you're doing. And when do I get my shot glass? Dante, email me, cowboysmark94@gmail.com with your address, because I see you're a channel member. I got to get your address in order to send it to you, because YouTube don't give that information to me. So cowboysmark94@gmail.com. Okay? Looking good. Well, I'm looking old as shit, okay? Trust me. My wife, wait a minute. I asked my wife earlier today, because I was doing work in the yard and everything else. My wife said, "You look like a stank-ass hot mess." I said, whoa. I said, "I can't be a stank-ass hot-ass mess." She said, "Yes, you look like a stank." She said, "You don't smell bad." She said, "But you look like a stank-ass hot mess." I was like, "Damn, baby." She said, "But I still love you. I love you, honey. I just understand. You just look like a stank-ass hot mess." But I appreciate it, Lola. He's not worth $45 million, Mark. I'm sorry, but he's not that type of player. He's not Garrett, Watt, Bosa, Aaron Donald. He's a great player, but not that great. Well, the reality is it's all funny money, Jimbo. It's all funny money. Is Jerry Jones worth, $10 billion? Is Catboy worth all that money? Probably not. And here's the reality of it. Remember when Dak Prescott got $40 million a year? Oh, he's not worth $40 million a year. Oh, hell no, he's not worth $40 million. But guess what? The numbers change. The numbers change so quickly these days. Think about last year, Tyreek Hill at $30 million at wide receiver. Oh my God, Tyreek Hill's getting $30 million. $30 freaking million. And guess what? Look how far down the line $30 million is now. Terry McLaurin will probably get over more than Tyreek Hill. That's $30 million. It's at 41. It's at 41. It was just 35 when Max Crosby got it in what? February? 35. Mike, it'll be another 7. So you have to look at it from the standpoint, Jimbo. You have to be forward thinking, because today's price ain't tomorrow's price. I'll give you a great example. Okay? I bought a house here for $135,000 in 2007. $135,000, right? At that time in this area, that was a lot of money for a house. That was a hell of a lot of money for a house. Now, that same house is worth $370 million. That's a really lot of money. That's a hell of a lot more money, from 135 to 370. So when you say he's not right, okay, yeah, well, guess what? That number's going to go up. There are projections. Well, we don't have to say. We can just say, look, think about this. The salary cap, the last 2 years has gone up $55 million in 2 years, right? Just for the sake of easy numbers, we'll say $25 million a year. If you sign Micah Parsons to a deal for 4 years, $25 million times 4 is another $100 million. So in 4 years, the salary cap will probably be around 370, if not more, probably more like 400 million. So when you look at it from that standpoint, yes, 45 seems like a lot right now, but 2 years from now, it's not. It'll probably end up being a situation where you think about Zach Martin got paid as the second highest paid guard, and then 2 years later, he was like holding out because he was so woefully underpaid because the market value had shot up. Well, Scotty, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I want you to think about this for a second. We look at how much money these guys are paid, right? And we say, man, they got all this money and stuff. But think about somebody like Marion Barber. Marion Barber, who literally his head was used like a hammer. He had CTE, and he ended up dying, not even 40 years old. Think about Drew Brees, retired not that long ago, who his throwing arm, he can't raise above his shoulder. When he goes to play catch with his kids, he has to throw with his left arm. He's way younger than I am. Think about Daniel Webster, who was one of the first cases that they diagnosed CTE. They said his brain was like Swiss cheese. So if I told you, hey, look, buddy, I'm going to pay you a boatload of money, but you know what? I want you to be team friendly, and we're going to take years off your life and your quality of your life off. Would you go ahead and say, you know what, I'll take a discount for you? Or would you try and get every single cent that you can? See, shout out to Eugene Monroe. Drew Brees' elbow always looked deformed. Oh, you should see Roger Staubach's pinky. It looks like a giant S. You have no clue how he had every right to keep his window up and do things that he did. They had no right to treat him the way you sounded like a freaking idiot. And I'll be honest with you too. I mean, let me play devil's advocate. I hadn't planned on having the whole conversation about Micah Parsons because we do have practice tomorrow against the Rams. But if you're the company you work for, if you go to work every single day, right? Every single day like you're supposed to, right? You work overtime like they ask you to whenever they need you to and things like that, right? You know, you perform at a higher level than everybody else. You know, people are coming to your company because they want to see you. You are holding up the company brand and everything else. And then when it's time for you to get a raise, they tell you you're not worth it and that you basically are shit. How do you feel? How do you feel about the situation? Are you going to say, okay, well, I'll just take whatever they give me? Or do you kind of lash out and say, you know what, I'm sick of this shit? In the NFL, every player on every roster should be contract greedy, with no remorse. I agree. Because here's the thing about this, though. How many times, perfect, Dante, I'll pass it on to Michael so he'll get it to you. Lola. I call Raid. Okay, I call Raid and everything else, man. I've got the weekly service they keep spraying, but you know the cockroaches they live on here. I'm surprised they're not climbing on my face right now. For the players that they can cut at any point, even though they got a contract, it's not a two-way street. It's not a two-way street. And I know we're looking and saying, yeah, well, they're getting paid millions of dollars. Some of them are. But then by the time you end up paying your taxes, paying your agent, you know, going to the club and getting tipsy, you know, buying the cars and all the houses and everything else, 75% of them are broker than me within 3 years of getting out of the NFL. And that's broke. That's real broke. Jeff Lee, what I missed. Jeff, how you gave it up to Dirty Sanchez. Oh my God, Jeff. Come on, Jeff. My name is Jeff. Jeff, you're way behind now. You're probably a pig yourself, one of those feral pigs. Oh my God. Who are you talking about as a pig? Um 5'11", 4'3", 40, 188 fluid hips, guards great against double teams, fast enough to cover vertical routes. Drafted 4th round, 104 and 23. You're excited about that trade then, lovely Linda? Eagles making moves because they know that their secondary is ass. Mark, let's go get a bacon chili cheese dog from Pink. Asman, actually, I made some chili dogs last night. Oh my God. I grilled the hot dogs on the griddle, so they got that little bit of crispiness onto it. I made some nice meat chili, but didn't just stop there. I actually put the chili on the grill to really heat it up and just kind of score it just a little bit. Chopped up some onions on there, right? Some onions, a little bit of mustard, put some shredded ghost pepper cheese so it was hot, and then some chipotle hot sauce on it, man. Pinks can't touch that. They can't touch that, man. Dak is ass in the playoffs, Mark. Laugh out loud. We the ones. You know, can y'all get a new stick? I mean, is there anything else y'all got? Anything? Okay? I saw somebody sent me, maybe it was Michael, sent me a thing that Jalen Hurts is being overshadowed by the backup quarterback. Is that true? I haven't been paying attention to Eagles. Contrary to popular belief, I haven't been paying attention to them. Okay? But I saw that clip and I'm wondering, is he looking like ass in practice? You're right, Joe. They got nothing else. Because they got nowhere to go, man. They got nowhere to go. Yes. All right. So now let's go through a little bit now that we've talked 45 minutes about Micah Parsons and how crazy obsessed Eagle fans are. We do have, actually, this is a first right here. With Overshown, he's getting closer and closer. He's getting really closer and closer. He's beginning to do more drills. Now, he's still working with the training staff, Fake news. What's fake news, Jimbo? But check this out. Watch him moving around. I still can't believe that this is a guy, Chef Mark, you need a Food Network show. Oh, appreciate that. But I can't believe this is a guy that tore his ACL, his MCL, and his PCL, okay? Check it out. No brace on, no limp. Now, granted, this is not playing in a game. I'm not saying he's ready to play in a game yet. But you look at how he's moving. He is moving really, really well. And I can say, I believe by the middle of the season, he will definitely be back. The backup quarterback nonsense. Yeah, Agent Zero. And see, if we can get Agent Zero, and Savon Rebel, that's the bad news. Savon Rebel has had a setback, and it's going to be several months before he gets on the field. So the thought of him maybe being ready early in the season, Mark knows that's nonsense. He didn't even remember what he was talking about. Jimbo knows. At Jimbo, Mark knows that's nonsense. He didn't even remember what he was talking about. What? Okay. Birds, Eagle fan, let me ask you. Seriously. This is a real question for all you Eagle fans. If you think I'm an idiot, if you think I make shit up, if you don't think I know what I'm talking about, why are you here? I mean, I'm being real. I'm really, Logan Motorsports says, hey, I like you, Mark. You're cool people and things. I like hanging, okay? Don't trust you with my address, but you're cool people. But seriously, Eagle fans, why are you here? Do you think I hang out on Eagle channels even when they lose? Seriously. And especially, and I will say, somebody that I don't like or I think is an idiot, other than Philly 500, but I do like him. He is an idiot, but I like him. Why would I waste my time on it? Here's the thing that people think, and I get accused of stealing content and stuff. It's like, don't flatter yourself here. I ain't got that kind of time. I literally wake up in the morning, I go through, check X, check Bleacher Report, okay? Whatever I dreamed up in the middle of the night, I do a video, and then I go and I work all day. Then I'll get a text message or I'll get some alert that Micah Parsons did this, that, and the other, and I'll do it. If you think I have time to sit and just watch YouTube videos of people just for ideas, bro, you're crazy. But seriously, Eagle fans, why do you feel the need to literally live on a Cowboy channel? Drew is like a crackhead when it comes to Cowboy channels. Man, I'm jonesing, man. They just keep calling me, man. I got to get my Cowboy fix. I don't understand that. Delusion versus no. It's not Big Spank Dog. See? Look. No. If you're going to come at me and try and call me out on something, get your facts together. It's not called delusion versus reality, although that might not be a bad title. It's perception versus reality. Perception versus reality. Because a lot of times people will think something, that's the perspective of it, because their narrative has been set, versus what the real facts actually are. There's a big difference between the two. We the ones. I hate to admit it, but Pickens was a great trade. And if our season is going to be successful, we the ones, it's going to be because of George Pickens opening up things. And thank you, we the ones. I have to thank an Eagle fan for actually getting me in another direction and getting me off busting on Eagle fans that literally live on Cowboys channel. Mark, it makes my teeth white seeing you guys suffer. Okay, all right. I'm not suffering. I'm not suffering. At least not at the moment. Well, no, actually, I guess I am with Jerry Jones. I don't know. George Pickens may be the biggest thing that the Cowboys have done in a long time. George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb are they are just like, zig and zag. I think is that the right term? I don't know. Two peas in a pod. They're like twins. They're like two huge boobies that go together. Just an incredible rack. You look and say, "Damn!" Okay, or maybe that juicy booty. Boom, 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 boom. That's the way they go together. You look at that and say, "Damn, that looked good. Damn, that looks good." Okay, I'm sorry, too graphic. But you see CD and George Pickens and the way they are grabbing stuff left and right. If you, as an Eagle fan, have no concerns about covering those two guys, then you're delusional. You're delusional. What that is going to do for this offense, it is going to open up things. Jay, we made this channel. We run the NFC. Drew, hey, tell you, Drew. You Johnny come lately, bro. Drew, maybe Game Time Brian, you're there all the time, a lot more than me. But Drew, I was well over 100,000 subscribers before you, bro. Way before you. No. Granted, a lot of y'all watch, and that's probably because of the friendship between me and Philly 500. Why did Jerry overpay Dak? Well, here's the thing that's kind of interesting there. If you actually want to really look at it, Gregory Lynn Watson, when you consider, here's where, just listen to me for a second here. For those out there saying, well, the Cowboys can't do anything because they paid Dak Prescott so much money. Okay, that's one of those perceptions versus reality. You know how much the Eagles are paying their team and their roster? Now, granted, they kicked the money down the road. They got creative with it. But they're paying their players a hell of a lot more money than the Cowboys are. Why? Because they're a little smarter on how they deal with the cap. But if the reason that the Cowboys are not signing players or can't sign players is because they paid Dak Prescott, then explain to me how in 2016, when Dak Prescott was $680,000 as a cap hit, and in 2017, when Dak Prescott was a $680,000 cap hit, in 2018, when Dak Prescott was a $680,000 cap hit, and 2019, when he was a $2 million cap hit, they signed nobody. Nobody. They had him for 4 years cheaper than the backup quarterback. And they did nothing to build the roster outside of the draft. So how can you turn around and say, oh, well, if they weren't paying Dak right now, they'd be all in? Really? You think so? That's not in their DNA. Mic drop for the 35 and older Eagle fans. Dirty Sanchez, stale courage. Give your daddy your driver's license so he can run your warrants. Give up your rights, a bootlicker. Okay. Logan, excellent. I appreciate you. Yeah, Drew. And you know what, Drew? I got a plaque for you, too. Ugh. In fact, I got two of them because we misprinted on the first one the winner of the fantasy football. So Mike cut that off, but he still has your ugly mug and had to recut it. So we might as well send that one to you, too, because I damn sure don't want it around my workshop. along with a shirt. Yeah. When you have a smart team, you will have smart fans, but a delusional front office, disappointing team, and 30 years no trophy. Confused and delusional fans. Okay. Dallas title so old. Still 2 titles in 60 years, though. Okay. Logan, I can say that about y'all Eagle fans and Big Spank Dog. Same shit. Well, here's good news then. If you're enjoying saying that Dak Prescott is the highest paid quarterback, enjoy it while it lasts, because Lamar Jackson's about to get paid, and they said it's going to be the highest paid. So there's that. Boy, does Milton look explosive. Jerry still feels burnt by Dak and talking out all the other players. Mark, I know it's the most handsome plaque. Oh, geez. Bro, you almost broke a $10,000 machine. I'm being serious, okay? You almost broke a $10,000 machine with that mug. Mark, you're looking stressed out and old. That's what happens to defending Dak for 10 years. Sack? I'm going to just call you Nutsack. How about that? I don't know, stressed out. I'm actually pretty relaxed and chilled right now. I'll be real with you, okay? Here, stressed out. I just saw my beautiful bride over there who just went to bed. So I know when I get finished here, I'll do my fireside chat. I'll get me my little ice cream sandwich snackage, and I get to go to bed with that woman. Now, as far as looking old, there's a reason why I look old. I'm old. Okay. I turned 60 in 2 months. 60. Okay, you see this face? This is 60. Son of John. Here we go again. Back and forth with Dak psycho haters. Mark was not even talking about Dak, but Drew and the others bring up Dak. Dak stays on Drew's mind. Suspect. Yeah. I make it look, oh, God, Drew. Hey, Drew, you might want to try smiling some. Seriously. I'm sure you got a great smile. It's like, damn, why you look so, oh, I forgot. He's an Eagle fan. That's why he looks like he's constipated. In 2 years, you've aged a lot. Well, it might be that I lost my father-in-law and my dad in the last 3 months. Maybe that did it. That could be. But thank you for telling me that I look old. I had Miss Lola said, you looking good. So I'll take the lady saying I look good as opposed to a nutsack saying I look bad. I'll put it that way. Tay Cowboys in the house. How are you doing tonight? So, moving on, I was doing some stats and stuff in here, but of course, we get Eagle fans in here that just start messing things up. I like seeing Donovan Easy. Here's where the Cowboys are in night and day better shape than they were last year. Last year, this time, we were looking and thinking that Sam Williams, we were hoping he was going to be a breakout star. Sam Williams get hurts. We lost Dante Fowler. We lost Lawrence Armstrong. We lost so many edge rushers. But this year, we have a plethora of them. And Donovan Easy, ooh. Let me turn off the music. Look at my man. He's chasing Dak out the pocket. Okay, now we know that probably would have been a sack. But Dak is actually moving and running around. But Donovan Easy, he is going to be doing some damage, guys. Boom. That spin move, man. He is going to be doing some damage. I mean, we definitely, if worse comes to worse, okay, Hurts been to 2 Super Bowls as much as, okay, all right. Yes. We got Eagle fans, of course, bloviating in here. And here's what I don't understand is, if the Cowboys suck so much, why are you guys so bothered about it? I mean, if I were Super Bowl champion, I don't know that I'd be over on Eagle channels every day. I really don't think I would be. Jaden Blue getting a little bit more reps and things. Definitely looks like he's going to be getting some work in. Y'all got to stop with the damn music, man, because you're going to get me copywritten. He's tiny, but he's fast. Tiny, but fast. Okay? And one last thing I will say, because everybody's been saying Jalen Tolbert, and this is how far we've come. We went from Jalen Tolbert being our number 2 wide receiver to people thinking that he might get cut. Ramalama Sports, Mark, don't let the Eagles fans get you down. They don't get me down. Actually, Eagle fans, you know what, Ramalama, I have to be real. They actually are right. They are right. I would say that 25% of the revenue that comes in on this channel because of YouTube ads is because Eagle fans are here. And they super chat too. They literally super chat to try and bust me out, okay? Because they're looking for attention. So shout out to the Eagle fans that are helping the channel grow. I appreciate it. But Jalen Tolbert, a guy who a lot of people said, man, he ain't doing too good. He may have had the catch of camp. Check out Dak to Jalen Tolbert. Here we go. Here we go. Watch this catch. Look at that. Boom. Are you kidding me? Watch it again. Watch it again. Oh, man. Yes, Lola. That was Jalen Tolbert. He said, oh, hell no, you're not getting rid of me. Look at that. Over the shoulder. Boom. Concentration. And there you see Micah over there on the sidelines, number 11, with the hoodie on. One more time. One more time for good measure. All right. So, contrary to popular belief that the world has not stopped in Oxnard with Micah Parsons not practicing. Jerry Jones, they probably locked him in a closet today. That's why he's been quiet. And tomorrow, the Cowboys start practicing against the Rams. That's why we're seeing Ramalama. Shout out to Ramalama. Long time no see, buddy. Welcome back. I hope you hang in for a while. We have practice against the Rams, scrimmage, and we'll be able to see a little bit better where we are. They won't have Matthew Stafford. He's dealing with some back issues because, like me, he's getting old. And the Cowboys will get some work in. And this will be a great measuring stick to see how we really are or where we really are. And hopefully we get through it unscathed, get some work in, and we get ready for the NFL season. Let me say from the bottom of my heart, even though I give Eagle fans a hard way to go because you suck, I appreciate you guys being here. Darlene, I appreciate you. Ward family, shout out to Ward family. And shout out to Loyal Cowboys, Jeremiah Hamilton, Holly Pierce, Jay Smooth, Going for Two podcast, Steel Courage. I thought, dude is trying harder to bother me. See, I tell you what, I get Eagle fans having the right to go ahead and troll us, okay? Because we destroyed them for so many years, okay? We really did, okay? And it was bad before they finally won a Super Bowl. And they've got pent-up frustration that they need to get out. And I recognize that, okay? And for people, it's kind of like when you win the lottery. You know how people that win the lottery, a lot of times they go broke because they've never had money before and they don't know how to handle it. See, people who've had money or have money, as they say, old money, They don't flash it. They don't show it. They don't want you to know they got it. They want you to pay for their shit. That's how come they still have money. Okay? And see, they've been there before. They understand nice things. Unfortunately, Eagle fans, they don't know that. So that's why they're out there, in the club dropping $2 million in Vegas in a weekend. They're out there buying houses and cars and shots of Louis the 13th for everybody and shit. That's why they're going to be broke ass in a short time. They're going to be broke ass in a short time because they don't know how to handle it. But Commander fans, bro, come on now. Come on now. You done had one good season. You're due for a good season about every 10 years. You had the RG3 year, right? So it was about time for Jalen Daniels. But y'all act like y'all done been up there with the Eagles every year in the playoffs and, and everything else. So slow your roll. Slow your roll. You got problems like I know they don't cover it. You might not have heard it, but your number one wide receiver, who's getting up there in age, he's doing what Micah Parsons is doing. So slow your roll. Slow your roll. Cornelius Thorne. You're right. Jerry Jones is there for entertainment purposes only. And you can't take Jerry serious. All right, good people. Eagle fans have back problems because you've been carrying the division for 30. Oh, Lordy. The Giants might disagree with you a little bit there, bro. Just saying. The Giants helped y'all a little bit there, too. Okay? Monique in the house. Okay. And you know what? Dirty Sanchez is a winner again. And I was sitting here thinking today because Tracy's got to make you a shirt. And I don't know if she'd make it or not. But I was trying to think of what we could do special for you. Dirty Sanchez. A lifestyle, something like that. Dirty Sanchez, not just a move, but a lifestyle. How about that? Nobody cares about the steel beef curtain. All right, but seriously though, Dirty, I'll actually text you because I know you're not an email type guy. Okay, although I'm kind of afraid to text you. I'm afraid that my phone will come back moist or something after texting you. But I'll text you there. What's up, Montana Beats? How are you doing? Drew having a wet dream. Monique, hey Jay. All right, it's time to get out of here and turn out the lights for everybody. I appreciate everybody. Tomorrow's a big day. We got the Rams. We got the Rams in practice, and we'll see what we're going to see. Peace out.
Turn out the lights. The party's over. They say that all good things must
end. Damn, Dirty Sanchez.
Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.